parents were school teachers, and so my childhood was in a very protected, old-fashioned Christian way. I mean, at the time we didn't want to go out or do something outdoors, so we sat home and draw all kind of silly children's fantasies. I think it was just having a good time doing that. So the decision came much later when I was in high school. And I started thinking seriously that I wanted to become an artist. We had art classes in high school, which you could choose either the long mathematics or art, and I took the art school. And then afterwards, when I finished my graduation from school, so then I studied advertising.
When did you first decide to turn your attention to the male figure?
Well, it came also rather early. I would say that I already had the need to put something on paper when I was a teenager, 14, 15 years old, because then I had my first sort of experiences, mental experiences about my relationship to other males, also other boys, so to say, which I know it was different from what it was supposed to be. In all the nearly 5 years that I was there, was a bit complicated. We started fighting against Soviet Union to keep our independence, and we got support from West Germany or Germany at that time. So my experience in war was first with the guys, the Finnish guys, which were serving the country, and then later in the last year of the war, our war, which ended a bit earlier than the Second World War. So the German army came to Finland. They wanted to take Leningrad, the position, and they already surrounded from south and west, and so they came to Finland and tried also to make it from north side or around, which never succeeded really. But that meant that I got contact with some German soldiers, officers, and so on. Then, after that war was over for us, and we lost the war, the Soviet army came there for several years to control that we made their life the way they wanted us to do. So that meant that they had some military patrols on the streets every night, and so on. And also, they were cruising the Russian parks. Well, I had one, actually. This is the only one that I really could call sort of a love relationship. I had a short time love affairs with a couple of guys before that, but then I met one young guy. He was 12 years younger than I was. I didn't even plan to start trying to get some long-lasting relationship, but for some reason it really started working so well that we continued. So I had him, or spent from my life nearly 28 years of my lifetime with him until he died. Maybe I would still be together with him if he would be here. I met him in 1953 in a park. I was coming home from somewhere, and I felt now I have some contact with somebody, have a couple of drinks or so. And so I met this guy on the street, and he was not hustling, but he was like a hustler. And so I stopped talking to him and asked him if he wanted to have a drink. And so he was very willing doing that. So he stayed in my place that night, and we didn't make any plans for future. But next night when I came home again, he was waiting me there again. And so that way it started. And very soon we moved to my place, and we started living together. But it wasn't easy. I wouldn't say that it was a great harmonious love. We had problems in the beginning very much, and then came the time that the sex wasn't anymore the most important thing, but it was deeper inside. It was the mental level, different, and the harmony was built. But in a way, I think that is still, at least to me, it was more love in that than in the sex we had before, and the feeling this is love. And the real love was the great relationship which was sort of grown from all these years through.
What kind of music you enjoy to listen to relax you or to inspire you?
Now, for instance, I very much like to listen to black music, soul, blues, American black music. Also rock, but rock is not, rock is different. I don't listen that much. I prefer watching that. Videos. It's more interesting. I'm into that. Not so much country or something like that. But then, of course, also I'm very much into classical music. I've also studied music in my young years. Sometimes I wanted to become a composer and a pianist. I played piano several years, but I never was good in that. I never became a composer. I copied other composers, and so I left it in time. So that belongs to the past. But it's still left there. I'm allowed to classical music. Like Mozart is one of my great favorite composers, and so on. And I need them very much just to relax. And for instance, when I have to work some creative part in me, which I don't get really working, and I have troubles in doing something, so it helps very much to listen to some classical music, because it somehow sucks out the pressure what is in the body and mind. It makes one feel easy and relaxed, and so I don't need to listen the way like most people do. They analyze, they control it all the time. It's just it comes in my mind and my ears and cleans it there in the way. So I need it very much, and I like it very much. Mm-hmm. So it's rather big scale.
Well, yeah, from black jazz to classical, that's a pretty broad swatch. But
okay. So when I started drawing, it happened a time when gays were still in the closet, and everybody felt more or less guilty being what they were, and I felt that it was, in a way, it was wrong. It was not fair to the gays, and the people I met, they were very effeminated. I tried to be the same also, because I had not experienced enough. I believed then that's part of being gay. I tried to behave myself the same way, but it didn't work. I felt so uncomfortable with that. So I started building my own image of something different, of some gay men who could really be men and feel happy forgetting the guiltiness, and feel happy being what they are and doing what they do. And because it's possible in the art to exaggerate and make it point it more clearly, so purposely I started doing that in my drawings. I want to build some kind of supermen, gay men, which were free, handsome and happy, doing what they did. And that way it slowly came the prototype of my images, my guys, and it's still there very much. I don't know quite if it is, how much it has influenced the gay community, but I hope that they had some response in that people felt that they could be different than what they felt. And of course now times have changed quite a lot, so people have easier to feel differently, behave differently. And I must say really that I feel happy now seeing that there's a gay pride today's world, that really the guys which I made in the beginning just in fantasy drawings, they really exist today, and they want to show that to be gay is not to be something wrong or doing something which is not right to do. So when I draw pictures like this, which are more or less my fantasies, I get very much involved with that. I mean, I can honestly tell that I have a heart on sometimes from hour to hour when I'm working on something. And also I know from that, if I don't get excited, so the drawing will not be good. I mean, sometimes it's hard to say in the beginning if it works or not, but if I don't feel excited, so again and again it means that there is something missing from the final drawing when it's finished. I don't know what it is, but I need to get excited. I need to get horny when I draw that. Then